Shalom, shalom, Shabbat shalom. Today is December 14th, 2019. I'm going to be touching on the topic of the mark of the beast. Okay? I'm going to be giving you an in-depth look at the mark of the beast. And we'll touch on a few things. About the subject, about the topic, because many think that this topic is only about keeping the holy day of the Shabbat, but they fail to realize certain things. Okay, and we're going to talk about those things. So here's my resources. I'm using, I don't know if you really can see that, but it is the Bible with Strong's. That's the app that I use to find certain scriptures. The Bible with Strong's, you can find that in the Play Store. The Complete Apocrypha, this is what I'm using, with Enoch and Jasher in there, or the Book of Assemblies or Wars. Today I'm going to use the Cambridge Bible, red letter edition. Always the red letters. I usually read out of the Hallelujah scriptures, but this time I'm going to read out of the Cambridge because we're talking on words of the Messiah, and we need those red letters to be at the forefront for us. So we're going to talk about the mark of the beast. And that's going to be in Revelation 14 and 9. That's what we're going to start at, Revelation 14 and 9. I'm going to start at 8 first and foremost, so you can get a general idea of what the topic is talking about. So in Revelation 14 and 8, and there followed another angel saying, Babylon is fallen, that great city, because she made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. Okay, when we're talking about Babylon, you have to first know what Babylon is. Babylon is signified by the head of gold that you will find in Nebuchadnezzar's dream. Okay, gold is the standard of all nations. Okay, gold is the standard of all nations, especially in Babylon. Why? Because gold does a few things. Gold gives you power, and gold gives you worship. Now, I've been saying for the past 2 months that the mark of the beast will either appeal to 3 things for yourself: power, worship, or bread. Those are the 3 things: power, worship, or bread. And in the Statue of Babylon, if you go and read the story of Nebuchadnezzar, where he is, not Nebuchadnezzar. Well, you can read it in Nebuchadnezzar, and you can read it in his son's story about how they use God's gold to have a feast, a fornication feast, with the gold of God's temple. Okay, so if you want to look that up, You'll find that in Daniel, in the book of Daniel. I'm just giving you a general overview. You can look up the story for yourself. But prior to that, King Nebuchadnezzar enjoyed power. That was his thing. Power was his thing. Power and worship, that was his thing. In his son's reign, bread was his thing, because his father went from power and worship to bread. Now the father didn't know he knew of the things that happened with his father, but he did not have the insight and the oversight and the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of what those things transpired for his father. I chastised him to make him a beast of the field, meaning he made him go crazy, made him act like an animal. Literally, in the garden, eating grass, okay? So you can read that story. But he made a statue of worship saying that he was all powerful and he created all these things by his might and his power. So he served worship because he did that. And that's where we go here to Babylon. Now, Babylon, the modern day Babylon today, is now Vatican, America, NATO, and the United Nations. And then you have subsidies, those groups that's within there. It says that fallen is fallen, that great city, because she made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. The fornication here is commerce, okay? Commerce is also a form of fornication, okay? You don't believe me? Go look it up. It means intercourse, interchange, okay? Intercourse and commerce. In trucking, the word is used interstate commerce and intrastate commerce, okay? That is the thing that's going on. So the Vatican holds power and sway over kings and nations, wealth when it comes to oil, influence, banking, and other forms of commerce. Now, a lot of powerful people have to go and meet the Pope, because the Pope has ecclesiastical over the earth, and he also has monetary power over the earth, or at least the western side of the earth. That would be Spain, Portugal, West Africa, South Africa, the Americas, in Central and South America, and the joining islands. Excuse me. So those are the things that he has sway over. If you have not read the Pope's letter to Obama, you should look it up. Just type in Pope's letter to Obama. If you have read the Pope's encyclical Jubilee encyclical in 2015, you should look that up. In a nutshell, he has told world leaders about America's economic state and how it is no longer, how it has not been for a long time, solvent in money. It is insolvent, meaning it's bankrupt. So now he had to come in and to remove it. That's what the 2008 whole thing was about having a new form of government or a new form of economic control. Now, there are 4 arms or 4 powers to a world government. You have political, economic, ecclesiastical, and intellectual. Okay? If you know anything about history, we're going to start on the intellect first. That the reason why America was started because, or they came over here, those from Europe descent came over here is because they were not allowed free thought when it came to ecclesiastical ideas. meaning they were not allowed to read the Bible. So whatever the bishops and the popes and the archdiocese said, and the queen and the king went, that's how it went. That's what they say, whether it was true or false. So if something didn't add up to your conscience, right? It was against consciousness or natural law, and you disputed that, you have become one they would say you was a terrorist, or you were not for the king or not for the crown. Basically, you was going against the state of the crown and the power of the crown or the pope. I'm not going to give you a history lesson, but you can go look up Queen Elizabeth I in the Church of England. That history. There's YouTube videos on that, and you can look up Ferdinand and Isabella and why they came away, why they had problems economically, and they kicked out the Moors, black Moors in Spain, and what economic problems they were having over there, that they had to go out and explore new lands. Okay. So again, a review: political, monetary, intellectual, and ecclesiastical. When you see the Pope's crown, he has three crowns. He has three crowns on. It's called the three tiara. One is for land, one is for water, and one is for air. I should say land, sea, and air. Okay, those are the three crowns because he controls those things in the Western Hemisphere. The two keys that you see on the crown is one is ecclesiastical and the other is monetary. But they mix intellectual and ecclesiastical together and political and monetary together. Those are the two keys are for. That's what it means that when you read in the Peter, I will give you the keys to the kingdom. Those are the keys. Ecclesiastical and political. Okay? Ecclesiastical meaning religious law and political meaning natural law or common law. In Revelation 9, it says, "And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, If any man worship the beast and his mark in his forehead or in his hand." And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, "If any man worship the beast." Let's look up that word worship that's used here. The number is G4352, worship. Worship. Transliteration is proskuneo. Prokuneo. A derivative of meaning to kiss like a dog, licking his master, or crouching. To prostrate oneself in homage, meaning you bowing down. Anytime a bishop goes to the Pope, they kiss the ring of the Pope. Okay? That means that you conform to the rules and the things that the Pope is issuing, like a dog. That's what that word is showing you to mean. Now the question is, are you a dog or are you a human, living, sentient human being? This is where it comes, you need to know natural law, unnatural law. Whether you are spiritual or whether you are dogmatic. You should look up the word dogmatic. For many years, you've been dogma from priests and bishops and different figures who give you dogma and not spiritual food. Once you understand what it means, then you'll really see that you've been fed dogma. Look up the etymon of dogma. I did another video. You can go back and look at that if you want to, or you can just go to etymon online and look up the word dogma. So now we know that to worship is like a dog, okay? And it says, worship the beast. We have to know what the beast is. So in order of us, we need to go back to chapter  where the beast is described at. Okay, that will be in 18. Chapter 18. Let me make sure. The word I'm Yep, Revelation 18 and 16. What the beast is. So, Revelation 18 and 16. That's where it gives you the description. But here I'm going to start at 9 because we just talked about the 4 things that you need to have a government or a kingdom: political, monetary, intellectual, and ecclesiastical. Revelation 18 and 9 says, "And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication," I'm going to change that word because fornication also means commerce. "For the kings of the earth who have committed commerce and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her when they shall see the smoke of her burning, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise any more. The merchants of silver, precious stones, and of pearls, and fine linen, and purple, and silk, and scarlet, and all fine wood, and all manner of vessels of ivory, and all manner of vessels of precious wood, and of brass, and of iron, and of marble, and of cinnamon, and odors, and ointments, and oil, and fine flour, and wheat, and beasts, and sheep, and horses, and chariots, and slaves, and souls of men." We know that America is the arm of Babylon because America is the vassal where you can buy and sell and do commerce worldwide. How do we know this? All commerce contracts are done at the World Trade Center Organization, or WTO. Trump just recently said that the World Trade Organization is obsolete because now it is at a disadvantage for what is needed for Babylon. So that's why they want to restructure the contract, because it's gotten so out of hand that all the merchants of the earth are suffering an economic imbalance. Okay? This is what if you read the 3rd seal, it says that, "And I saw a black horse, scales in his hand, going throughout the earth, rebalancing the scales." The 3rd seal opened up of 2018. Okay? I'm going to pause a little bit and I'm going to come back and we're going to finish. We left off at Revelation 18. We're talking about the scales in the 3rd seal. Shalom, shalom.